All right, well, we are on air. The weightlifting scoop. We have a special edition with Tayler Harris. She's our new 75-kilo weightlifter. What's going on, Tayler?
Not much. Just hanging out with y'all today. Thank you for having me.
We also have Tom Sroka.
Yo.
Glenn Pendlay and McCauley.
Hello.
Hello.
What's going on, Tom? It's been a while since you've been on the show.
Not much. I'm just living the dream.
Yeah, we didn't have a show for a little while. I got food poisoning, which was phenomenal, but I'm back up and running, and glad to have Tayler on the show. She's been here. How long have you been here?
4 weeks this week.
4 weeks. I didn't even know that. I was gone for 2 weeks. So, tell us a little bit about your background. How'd you get into weightlifting?
Well, I was introduced, obviously, to the sport with some CrossFitting I did post-college. And then I really was interested.
Lost my ball, sorry.
Interested in the strength portion of CrossFit, so I explored some other options and went to a local strength gym. And I was pretty persistent. I wanted to do powerlifting, and they convinced me to do weightlifting. So I've been doing that since late 2012.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
It would have been very, very sad to lose you to powerlifting. That would have been a travesty.
Yeah.
You know, with the soccer background, I felt like I could gut it out a little better, and it wasn't so technical. But I'm glad I definitely came to weightlifting.
I think it's interesting that somebody pushed her away from powerlifting. That's not usually like.
You mean CrossFit?
No. She said she wanted to do powerlifting, and somebody told her that she'd probably better fit it for weightlifting. It's usually around that time there weren't as many coaches as there are now that are like experienced enough to notice that, hey, you'd probably be better off doing this than this. You get somebody that has a powerlifting background, they're like, yeah, come on, let's give it a shot.
Well, the person who pushed me toward it's actually, she was strictly weightlifting at the time, and she had a gym in Asheville, and she had coached she had learned a lot from Glenn when he would come to North Carolina and that kind of thing. So she was that's kind of her bias definitely showed up, which I'm glad it did.
So you are from Asheville, North Carolina, so you're not from too far away from Muscle Driver.
Right. Well, I'm originally from Winston-Salem. I went to UNC Asheville, stayed there for the last 9 years.
So yeah, you're always going to be a North Carolinian.
Right.
So you've been training with Tom a little bit now, because Tom, you coach at a CrossFit gym that she was able to drive to once a week or once a month or something like that.
Yeah, Taylor contacted me in like January?
Late December?
Something like that. I was home. I was in Chicago when she contacted me, and she just simply said that, that she was just looking for somebody to just look at her videos and stuff and help her with programming or whatever because she wanted to qualify for nationals and compete. And first off, she was surprised that I remembered her because, Glenn, I don't know if you remember, like one of the first weeks we were here, Taylor came and worked out in the gym with Mie. She was going to go to the original tryout that we had, and then she had an injury that prevented her from doing so. And then from there, I was working with a group of girls at CrossFit Northlake, and that was only about 2 hours or so from where she was. So she was able to come down once a week on Sundays, and she would work one-on-one with me there. And then during the week, we would either video chat or text back and forth, and I would write her stuff for her, and She improved quite a bit, and she did. I mean, there wasn't much to improve upon to begin with. She was a pretty strong lifter to begin with. She just needed some more fine-tuning stuff and just another set of eyes to watch stuff. And she ended up coming down here for that Muscle Driver meet and did really well. I believe she did 80 and 108 or something like that. What did
79.
She do? 79. Okay, I was one off. The 108 was more impressive to me because when she first started working with me, 100 was a very hard clean and jerk for her.
Oh, yeah, 108's a huge lift. So obviously those are great numbers, and a lot of people probably don't know who you are, so it's doubly impressive. Now, you started working with Tom, so everybody wants to know, what's it like to work with Tom?
Oh, God.
Tom is a very good coach, actually.
He can't hurt you anymore.
No, she lived with me. I mean, that's worse than me coaching you.
Oh.
Yeah, she stayed with me for a week.
This is news.
And he still feeds me.
I know. My wife really likes her. It's not really me anymore.
Wow.
I can't help it. No, Tom is a really good coach, and I've suggested him to a bunch of people that if people are looking for a distance coach, I really enjoyed working with him. He was very very quick to respond, which is really important when you have a distance coach. You don't want to send someone a video and wait 4 hours and then you're no longer touching a barbell. So he would definitely, within 5 minutes, of course, if it wasn't during training, and he would say, "Here's what you need to do," and we'd fix it and send another video. So it was really nice.
Yeah, Glenn's like 5 minutes. He should have been training that time. No, I'm just kidding.
It's definitely, there's good and there's bad with having lifters that are actually coaches also, because their attention is always a little bit diverted, but Tom doesn't
No. I would always be eating dinner when she texted me, because she would go train right
When
after.
are you
That's
not
true.
eating dinner, Tom?
Well, the other times I eat lunch and breakfast.
Some
but-
meals are called breakfast. Yeah.
But no, it was no joke. I would always be like sitting down with a plate of food and my phone would start going off, and my wife, after a while, Beth would be like, "That's Taylor. You should probably go get that." And I'd go grab my phone, because we have a no phone rule when we eat. So I have a no phone rule a lot. But yeah, it was just, she was one of the ones where she said flat out, she goes, "I prefer immediate response, because some of my clients will send me videos all after they're done training, and then I'll respond like the next morning and give them a bunch of feedback." But she was like, "I prefer more instant stuff." So she would text me and then I would give her a response as soon as possible.
Getting my money's worth. Hello.
Exactly.
So yeah, Tom, I worked 40 hours, so Tom always got me after 5:30, 6 o'clock. So.
Well, I will say Tom had a lot of his team come down to the muscle driver meet, and everyone had made a lot of improvements. So, obviously, a really enthusiastic coach, and seemed to be working for you and definitely a lot of his other clients. So, any funny stories?
My whole life is a funny story. I don't even know.
Well, so what CrossFit gym were you driving to train with Tom?
North Lake.
And how far away was that from home?
It is 2 hours.
2 hours. So once a week you were driving 2 hours one way just to get training in.
Yeah, and they really loved it when they sat there. Some mornings they'd text me and be like, "Oh, by the way, we're meeting at 8 a.m.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So then it would be like I'd be on the road, have to be up at 5:30 and on the road by 6.
It was, keep putting it in perspective, it was a group of 4 women. One of them is a mom. The other 2 are, about Taylor's age, work, full-time jobs or whatever. So they were kind of a little more lax, but sometimes the mom would be like, "Hey, I have to get a babysitter, so is there any way we can do this like early?" First few times I felt really bad. Then afterwards I'm like, "No, I can't make Taylor get up at 5 and drive into just to train with us."
Yeah, 5 o'clock, that's absolutely ridiculous.
That's 4 hours before Travis gets up.
If you're doing that, that is dedication, and I have to give you props for that. So you're here now. I know your life has changed quite a bit. I mean, throughout the week, you used to have a full-time job back home. So tell us a little bit about what life was like back home and how you were able to train, while having so much responsibility.
Well, like I said, I worked for a law firm, so I worked 8 to 5 every day.
Mm-hmm.
Would rush home, take my dogs out, change, drive to the gym, and be there. The guy who owned it actually ended up giving me a key, because some nights I'd be there till 8:30, 9 o'clock trying to get everything in. So it's definitely different. Learning to recover and eat enough.
Lost my ball again. Sorry.
A lot of times I definitely wasn't eating enough for 6 training sessions a week, let alone 9, sometimes 2 a day. So I'm really having Tom kind of help me my first week learn to eat enough.
I can help anybody eat. Yeah. I will show you how to do it.
I went over.
Tom is an expert in that field.
So yeah, I mean, it's not changed horribly bad. Like nothing's out of whack. I'm getting more sleep now, which is great. I'm eating more. It's definitely different. The first couple of weeks, it felt like I was on vacation, like I was going to have to go back to sitting at a desk all day. So I'm very grateful I don't have to do that.
Well, I mean, so given that you're no longer working, and we obviously train more times, now, does it feel like a break yet, or do you just feel more fatigue from training because you're training more?
No, it's still, I still feel pretty good every day. I've yet to really, I don't know if it's maybe delayed and it'll kick in a few weeks, but things have been really good, and I don't feel like there's been maybe one day where I've been super, super tired.
Yeah, I mean, I think sleep is so important that, if you're able to sleep more and you're not having to work, I think you should be able to recover more.
Yeah, and one of the things Taylor, is feeling about these workouts is she's coming at a time of year where we're getting ready for the Nationals, so We don't have the number of repetitions and all of that stuff that we get 3 or 4 months back. That's kind of going downhill. So probably, you're probably going to recover pretty good from these workouts. You should be recovering pretty good from these workouts.
Which is a good intro for, getting used to total volume, which, when we come back from nationals, throw you right into that high volume phase.
I'm not coming back, dude.
Set to 20. Coming at you.
Seriously.
Gonna have Tom doing sets of 10 all day.
All day, every day.
Well, what's your favorite thing about being here so far?
Me? Sorry.
Wow.
Taylor.
Excuse me.
Really training with people. I basically trained by myself. There were obviously people at this CrossFit gym, but it was mostly me back on the platform by myself. So it's been really nice to have, especially a female group. Last week we had Jess in here and Stevie. Then, of course, Rachel, Becca, and I were all here still. So
They dance all the time.
There is a lot of dancing.
They're dancing. It's unreal.
Keeps us all friendly and happy.
Well, Tom used to be one of the, I was going to say biggest dancers, but he's the biggest guy in the room. So, but no.
Fat joke?
No,
it's honestly
just a big guy.
It's really too warm now to dance. I mean, I get like really sweaty warming up, and it's messed up. Like, we need to get a demeanor.
You get really sweaty dressing up.
We did. Come on, Don. Not now.
Well,
not
I have
now.
to say, I mean, by the end of the clean and jerks, he's in his underwear, so I don't think he's dressing up.
Oh, man.
Did you see that leg show he put on this morning?
Leg show.
Oh my
Sean.
God.
Sean told me to hike
This
up
is
my.
getting weird.
Sean told me to hike up my shorts, but all I had on was a pair of compression shorts.
Taylor.
So I sat down in front of Taylor while she was front squatting.
Taylor, you couldn't look at him, could you?
Like I said, it's like Medusa. You gotta, I had to keep my eyes closed and just front squat.
Taylor has determined I have the palest legs.
Jesus, somebody needs to get him in the sun.
The Polish people typically tan.
Yeah, we tan. You burn really bad once, and then you're good for the rest of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Like last year when my relatives came to visit, I went out to the lake with them one day, came back. The first 2 days I looked like a lobster. Then after that I had a sweet bronze going on. You know what I'm saying, Don?
That's not the words that come to mind.
No.
That's not the words.
So we actually
turkey comes to mind.
a few podcasts ago we talked about how important the sun was. So given that you're not working 8 to 5 anymore, have you been able to enjoy the sun?
Well, I guess so. I've never really thought about it, but yeah. We walk. So we have 2 dogs. My fiance and I have 2 dogs. So, on our Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, we'd spend a lot of time outside with them, trying to make sure they're exhausted. And
What kind of dogs do you have?
I have standard poodles.
Well, those can be good dogs.
They're good bird dogs.
Yeah, and
my grandmother had a standard poodle.
My grandpa breeds them.
Well, wonderful.
Yeah, I'll put my spiel here. I like them that they don't shed, and they're really smart, and they're just good. They're like retrievers that don't shed. They're pretty
That
good.
sounds like a good dog.
Yeah, they've been really good, and they've taken the move really well, which is always good. So
Yeah,
so we
usually-
just get outside with that.
Usually dogs freak out when you move, so that can definitely be a tough transition there.
Murdoch peed on the new couch the other day.
Yeah, we've got to mention.
Peed on the couch.
We've got to
That's
mention
not
that
normal.
Taylor's from Asheville, North Carolina, and we've got to have some sort of a team field trip up to Asheville because Asheville's a lot of fun.
It is.
It's a pretty town, nice town,
Yeah,
good music.
I'm all for that. I'm all for getting away for the weekend, and
We're going
there's a few
going to-
gyms in Asheville. So
We're going to Canada in August
mm-hmm.
for Trevor, as you call him, the pacifist, his wedding.
Well, he's definitely something.
Trevor Britton is getting married in August in Canada. So
It's going to be a team road trip.
yeah, support him in that next chapter of his life.
Just sit there in the crowd. Don't do it!
Oh, God. Tom, that is not something you should be saying on here. You're already married.
I have the insight.
The voice of experience.
Well, speaking of new things going on, I guess you haven't been on since you got your new place, Tom. So you and Beth, your wife, have bought a townhome.
Yes, my wife and I finally got out of our apartment. We just purchased a townhome. Actually, it's a lot closer to the gym. It's turned into like the hangout in between training sessions.
It's the hostel.
It is. It's as Beth kindly refers to our apartment now, our townhome, the home for wayward lifters. But no, it's a nice place. It's a lot bigger than the apartment, obviously. It's got 3 floors. It's like 1,900 square feet. It's got 2 bedrooms, a couple bathrooms. There are a lot of bathrooms in this place. There's one that's right in a stairwell that Mike kept falling into when we were moving couches. We were moving a mattress, and Mike couldn't fit with the mattress and himself in the stairwell, and he fell into the bathroom repeatedly. And it's literally you come down a set of stairs and it's at the bottom of the stairs. It's really weird.
That doesn't sound like a good design.
I like it. I use that bathroom all the time, but it's very convenient when you first get up in the morning. But no, it's a really nice place. The biggest complaint I would probably have is the parking. Anybody that's been over there, the parking is a joke. It's all the houses are it reminds me of all those neighborhoods in San Francisco where the houses are right on top of each other. There's not a lot of room. But I have my own office, which is sweet. I have a Hulk poster. I'm painting the room Notre Dame green. And I have a foosball coffee table. I couldn't tell you all the other furniture that's in the house, but I know we have that. And then I have my recliner and a brown leather couch. It's my command center.
Man cave.
No, it's a command center. I don't like the man cave. I do all my work down there. Whoa.
Someone coming through.
So, how many bathrooms does this thing have?
4.
4?
2.
4.
Holy shit.
Well, no, it's
Wow,
3 total. It's 2 powder rooms and then 2 bathrooms. There's the guest bathroom and the master bathroom.
You know what I find
I don't fit in the tub.
Is
by
that
the way. I'm really upset about this.
There's a shock.
No, in my old apartment, I was able to take ice baths and stuff. I tried the first week Taylor was staying with us. She heard me yell from the bathroom. I got in there and I yelled an expletive because I couldn't fit all the way down. It's not cool, man.
He gave me all of his Epsom salt. I have 3 bags of it now.
Well, so here's a question, trivia. So in the South, when we talk about a powder room, we call it a half bathroom.
Is that what it is?
So I just found it interesting. What do you guys call that?
Up in New England, they would call that a lavette.
A lavette?
Don't ask me why.
Okay. What about you, Glenn?
I have no idea. I assume you're talking about something with a toilet, but no...
Just a toilet and a sink.
Toilet
Right.
sink. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Basically.
No tub. All right. Well,
Outhouse?
I don't know what I'd call that. I would call it a toilet and a sink room. I don't know.
Well, to be
Real
fair, I also call it. I also
practical in
like the.
Texas.
What is it? I said front room the other day, and you guys had no. Well, it's front room, but you people.
What is it? What is it?
It's front room. You just
Front
you
room?
just smash the words together and say it as fast as
Front
possible.
room.
Front room. But people don't and some people it's
Yeah, I don't know what that
there's
is.
a living room and then a family room. And in Chicago, the living room is usually in the front of the house, and you call it the front room, and then you have the back room. And the back room's usually your family room where all the family hangs out and watches TV and everything like
in
that.
the old days, they used to call that up in New England the front parlor. The parlor.
Why
And
do you have
then
such fancy-
the living room? Because we're fancy-ass people. That's why. We're not peasants, for crying out loud. No, I don't know. What the hell? That's what they called it. I don't know.
Well, it is interesting, just because, I don't know what people call these things.
It's kind of
but,
like calling things lunch or supper or dinner.
No, it's 2 different meals. Yeah, and it's dinner.
Dinner.
Or Coke or
Dinner or
soda or pop.
It's supper.
It's Pepsi
And
or
it's-
Coke.
Coke.
It's
Everything's-
soda
Everything's
or
Coke.
pop.
Supper and
Although Taylor was
Soda.
impressed when she moved down here how much I like sweet tea. And the backstory, being from up north, there's not a lot of sweet tea. But my mom's from Kentucky. So when we were growing up, she would always make the big pitcher of it, put it on the back porch and let the sun brew it. And then she'd put a little sugar in there when it got warm. And then you go out there with a glass of ice and it had a little spigot on the pitcher. And you just fill it up. And I drank sweet tea all summer. Well, as Taylor makes fun of me, my ma.
all summer long.
In Boston, they call it tonic. They
That-
call soda tonic. Don't ask me why. Only in Boston.
well,
too.
they're
Boston
just
tonic
strange,
water.
Boston.
They are strange.
Boston's weird. Have you ever tried driving in Boston?
Yeah, bumper cars.
I returned my rental car after being there for one day. I said I couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. Yeah.
Well, because the GPS had me going into a building.
So, you never answered. What would you call a bathroom with a toilet and a sink?
My mother always called it a powder room, so that's why I've always
Okay.
called it.
Well, I was just curious because you're from the South, too. I had never heard of powder room until I was talking to Beth about, Tom and Beth's new place. So I was confused on what that was. But yeah, so good to know all this trivia.
Useless information you will never use ever again.
I don't know, if you go to trivia, sometimes you need it.
This is the weightlifting podcast, right? We're on today. we got a little off subject here, but that's okay.
Well, that's cool. So what else is new, Taylor?
Not much. I'm just trying to think. What else? Oh, Jess came in. Nobody's really talked about her much.
Oh, Jess.
Mm-hmm.
She's 48 from California. Is that what she is?
Yeah.
Yeah, from California. You did, yeah.
Yeah, so we obviously we had Rachel on a couple weeks ago, and then we're having Taylor today. And Jess Kinsler is also going to be a new member of the team, and she's 48 from California, who's a very good lifter. She's been here for a week, but she's going to postpone moving here full time until after nationals. So then she will be full time on the team, and that's exciting. She's got a lot of potential.
Yeah. I mean, she stayed with me for a week, so I got not a week, it was for the weekend, and I got to talk to her a little bit. I think she'll fit in really well. She's a real interesting person. Her husband's another military guy, so I think that's, we're getting a little bit of a military contingent here.
We need that.
Well, Steve, honestly, I've already decided. Anytime I go anywhere I don't know, I'm bringing Steve with me.
Yeah, special forces.
Yeah.
Yeah, special ops.
That man he can make
He can make a house out of like a paperclip.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's like that.
He's an interesting guy too. I went to by the way, if you're ever in the Fort Mill area and you want a good snow cone, go to Pelican Snowballs. Okay? This place is right behind my house. I walked, Glenn. I walked there and I walked back. That's
I
not
thought you were looking kind of thin today.
I walked there and I had they have like little chairs for Steve and Mike. Like these, they have like they have little, they have
for kids.
They have chair. Well, I posted a picture of it. If you follow me on Instagram, and there's a picture of me in a normal chair, and then there's a picture of Steve in his own size chair, like kind of like the three little bears in Goldilocks.
You got to share that to my Facebook thing.
I'll repost it. I'll tag that. Yeah,
I gotta have.
He fit in it perfectly. It was really.
All right. So, what is your Instagram? If people want to see that.
Oh, I don't even know.
Super.
Yeah, you know better. Right? Super Srokas. But if you need a snow cone, you go to the Pelican. And the building looks like it's got trapped in the 60s. It's like really weird blue.
I've never needed a snow cone, so what other things?
They do ice cream. They do this really cool thing where they take the snow cone and they bore a little hole in the middle of it and they drop ice cream in it and then they cover it up.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Let's
that
go
sounds
now.
revolutionary.
What the hell are we here for? Can't we... How important is this podcast?
The problem is there's another place if I walk the same amount of distance in the other direction called Brewster's, and it's like homemade ice cream.
Oh, yeah,
well, Brewster's is the greatest ice cream place of all time.
Yeah, Brewster's is around.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's good.
Of course you haven't.
Well, you know there's this one flavor of Brewster's called Galaxy that they do not make unless you request it, and it's malted milk chocolate with caramel, blended in, and a huge amount of caramel. Not,
No, Galaxy's legit.
Yeah.
You got to ask him for it though.
Yeah.
Now, where's this Brewster's?
It's right by Tom's house.
Not that this is going to help anybody that's listening to the podcast.
It's on Steel Creek Road in Fort Mill. No, I think it's technically Tega K by that point.
Yeah. Okay.
It's over. It's like by where we went for that martini bar place.
All right. Yeah, that wasn't bad either.
Anyways, so I like food. Anyways, if you ever stay with me and you need a good dessert, I mean, I could hook you up. I got Brewster's on one end, the Pelican on the other.
Your wife's not a half-bag cook either.
No. And then there's always peanut butter in the house.
That chocolate
what
peanut butter.
What was that you were eating yesterday? Peanut butter with what?
Dude, that lady was so mad at me. Okay, so I went with Beth to this fancy updo place she had to go to. And I was hungry, so I brought a thing of peanut butter with me. It was cinnamon swirled peanut butter. Okay, it was very good. And I'm sitting there eating the peanut butter, and the lady goes, "Sir, is that peanut butter?" And being nice, I was like, "Yeah, you want some?" I extended the jar her way. You would have thought I insulted her. And as Taylor pointed out, supers don't share food. So she should have been grateful that I shared food with her, but she didn't want it. So
well, she probably thought it tasted like shit because you were trying to let her have some.
It was good. It was good. Kept me from getting hangry. Anyways, weightlifting. Catapult.
We already did the catapult.
Sweep
today.
it.
Yep. So we got training here in a minute, and we're getting ready. We're getting ready for nationals. So everyone's competing in nationals, including Jess. Is she competing for us at nationals?
Yes.
So.
Ariel.
Including Jess and Ariel, who are going to be moving here after nationals. So you'll get a preview of them at nationals, which is obviously exciting. And we pretty much got a full girls team going on now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like Tayler was saying, she was excited to train with other girls. Well, I mean, it was just Morgan and Becca for a long time, and then just Becca for a little bit. So I think that's important. I mean, what do you feel like is the importance of training with other women?
Well, like how Becca puts it, it forces us to it competes on a friendly scale. Like with Becca and I, we're both 75s. And even with Rachel, I mean, she's a super, but we all kind of end up pushing each other if we're on the same platform or near each other. And it's nice that you can compete with men to a certain point, but, you know.
It is hard because it's hard to know how to compare. So obviously with you and Becca being in the same weight class and you're doing an exercise, it's the same, you know, like you know exactly what you need to do to beat her.
Right, like today we were front squatting and she decided to throw on an extra, 15 or something. And so I was like, well, I'm done. And then I was like, never mind, I'm going to do this. If Becca does it, I have to do it.
Can we just talk about how freaky Rachel is in terms of how strong she is?
Jesus.
I get like a front row seat to that every day. And
Rachel is freaky strong.
but seriously. But, I mean, overall, the entire girls team looks great. They're all, you know, very good, very strong lifters. But, like, I sit right next to Rachel when she's training. And, she's the most positive person I've ever met in my life.
Thank God she's in a good mood all the time.
Exactly. I've tried putting her in a bad mood, and it hasn't happened.
And basically, if you can't do it,
If I can't do it, nobody can do it.
I don't think anybody.
I did win the D-Bag of the Year award.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
I think we gave that eternity.
Exactly. But no, she's very super positive. She takes like 30 seconds rest between every set, and she's crazy strong.
Well, she front squatted 130 is what I heard
Easy.
the other day.
She
And
power clean and push press 91.
so now we got girls in the gym. We got soon we're going to have like 4 girls in the gym, 5 girls in the gym clean and jerking over 100 kilos. I mean, that's a pretty serious girls team, you know? Yeah, and I mean, I'm excited, and it's cool to see. You know, we've always had a men's team here, and we're just now finally getting a full women's team.
I can remember. Yes, this is old stuff. I can remember
Dinosaur.
where I could count the women in the country on one hand that could clean 100 kilos. I got more in this room, basically.
There's only one in this room right now.
Not really.
Wow. Women in this room. Right. I was being smart.
He's being a smart ass from Chicago. Anyway.
Chicago's greatest city in the
we got to
world.
talk about one thing. Make sure we talk about this before the podcast drifts away. You know, I know we got nationals coming up, and yet, you know, Travis, you probably got the world team coming up and all that shit, but
Jeez.
we have to have, before the nationals, one more contest for the belt.
What's this week?
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Well, we got to have more
can't
than
be
one.
this week because the owner of the belt is going out of town.
Sean. Where's he going to be?
I got a clinic down in
Dude.
Georgia.
Then I'm going and buying the United States belt from Walmart, and that's going to be the interim title.
You want to do that one?
Yeah. Lunch on Friday, I'm going to Walmart, buying the other belt that I saw, and that's going to be the interim title while the title is out of business.
Title is out of business.
Then we'll have to have a unification bout.
Now with the women, we can compete for the title belt, correct?
Absolutely.
There's no stipulations there.
Yeah, we always do it that. I mean, it's how the past 3 have been that we've allowed the women to compete.
Just making sure I can get it before
Some
you,
kind of
Tom.
percentage.
Yeah.
So
probably
Glenn,
will.
how good was Salsaritas today?
Oh my god.
it was pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
This is a serious operation here, you see.
Yeah.
So you got it figured out. So if anyone goes to one of those Mexican taco burrito places, what do you order to get the most bang for your buck?
Well, 3 tacos. I feel that's about the optimal amount because if you order 4 or 5 tacos, they're going to give you slightly less per taco. It's just human nature. If you start really piling on,
Not unless you slap them around
the number
first.
of tacos, you're not going to get as good of a deal. But 3 tacos, I think, is about optimal. And definitely, you want tacos instead of the burritos. Because a burrito, you can only put so much in a burrito. And you're basically done.
Jeez.
You fill it up, and you're done. On a taco is like open-ended.
You say taco weird.
Taco.
You're like, taco.
Taco. Tom, I don't say it like that. But it's like an open-ended question. You know, you put your rice, your et cetera, on the taco.
See, you just did it right there.
No, I didn't do it right there. I didn't do
Taco.
It right there. Anyway, that's, I think, the best deal. That's the best deal for tacos.
Well, I mean, I saw Glenn's play today, and I'll be damned if he doesn't have it figured out.
Well, that's what I was telling everybody today, that I'm not going to get anything different at Salsaritas for the foreseeable
just 3
future.
tacos.
Like you said, I mean, they've only got one size plate. If you put 5 tacos on there, you can't fill them as much as 3.
Don
It's an optimal number.
Don said today that if there was any more meat and filling in that taco, it was going to be like pancakes with stuff on top of them.
Yeah, you couldn't have folded it.
I found that
wouldn't have been
the real
tacos.
secret is to befriend the servers. You know, and there was a time when I think I really didn't get a good deal at Salsaritas, but
you were an asshole.
Yes, I was an asshole. But since I started really paying attention to being friendly with the servers and trying to joke around with them a little bit, you know, make them laugh a little or whatever, I've really found that pay dividends. You know, I really upped my game when it comes to getting calories.
You should have been with him at was it Costco when we lived in California?
Yeah.
True story. This is what happened. Okay, so they were doing like the little yogurt things in the little cups. We'd always go when it was samples. Glenn had their sample schedule down, right? And he's like, we were coming home from training one day, and he goes, "Tom, you hungry?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "All right, let's go to Costco and get some samples." So we go to Costco, and no joke, this lady is like pouring this yogurt in this little thing, and Glenn's looking, he goes, "Oh, what's this one?" She's like, "Oh, apricot." And he's like, "What's this one?" She's like, "Oh, it's strawberry." He goes, "You know, I'd really like to try the apple." And it was in the thing behind her, like in the case. She turns around and pulls out a whole thing of it and just like pours it in a bigger container and hands it to him, and he walks away. And where earlier Donnie had done the same thing. Donnie's like, "Oh, I don't like any of these." She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. That's all I had." I don't know what it is about him, but he was able to smooth talk the lady enough. And all he said was, "Oh, I'd really like to try the apple." Pulls it right out of the package, gives him a whole one to himself. While the rest of us are, you know, we're told SOL, like, go away.
Well, the best thing to get at Costco is like the...
You say Costco weird, too. Costco
is the barbecue beef sandwiches.
No, dude.
Those are the best thing in the world.
Their hot dogs are really good.
Well, I'm not a big hot dog person.
Well, that's because you're an American.
Well, be nice to your servers and
tip your waiters and waitresses.
And put your cell phone down when you're driving in the car, dang it.
What?
I don't know, it's just...
general information.
No, we're driving here today, okay? Little PSA going on real quick. We saw some, like, a really bad accident, and they had to cut the person out, okay? I've gotten hit with stuff, people thrown out of their cars as I'm riding my bike, people playing on their cell phones while they're driving. Do me a favor, you're driving for 5-10 minutes tops, you don't have anywhere special to be, there's no hurry. Put your phone in the glove box. The text message can wait, the Instagram update, the selfie, whatever the hell you're doing can wait. Put your stupid phone down, please.
Speaking about PSAs and cell phones and stuff like that, I saw on Facebook, I saw the greatest one I've ever seen. They did this in a movie theater.
Yes.
Did you see this?
Yes.
Somehow, this is magic anyway. They had somebody in the theater that had hooked up a machine that they could ring everybody's cell phone that was in the immediate area. Everybody in the theater, they could ring it. And they had a movie on, and this thing starts, and basically it says from a driver's point of view, you're driving a car fast down a road. So the driving, this goes on for about 30, 40 seconds, and somewhere in the building, this guy phones all the people with cell phones in the building. Okay, so everybody obviously takes out their cell phone. They're all looking down. As soon as they look down, the car crashes on the screen. And it comes up with some sort of a PSA message.
That's pretty sweet.
I thought it was sweet. I thought it was pretty good.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to derail it there. But...
I'll have to see that.
I don't think it was going any particular place, really.
Well, we've got to get to training. Any final thoughts?
Now, check out thestrengthagenda.com. It's my site that my wife and I run. We just started updating it with some new content and whatnot, so check it out if you have a chance.
And follow Tom on Super Sroka if you want to see the new guy, Stephen Brown, in a tiny chair.
I don't post anything weightlifting related. It's all stupid crap that I post. So if you're looking for weightlifting tips, that's not the place.
Are we going to have the catapult launch that happened here minutes ago?
Taylor's working on it.
I'm having some technical difficulties.
We'll figure it out.
Yes.
Okay, and then Taylor, how did they follow you on Instagram?
Yeah, tell them.
Have you heard the rest of this podcast?
I know. It is tiny_taboo. That's TAYEBOO. It's a nickname. It's probably going to change.
Don't justify it. Don't just.
I'm blushing right now.
Could you tell me the nickname again?
It's tiny_, and it's taboo.
Tiny taboo.
Yeah.
So, you need to call her that at nationals when she's getting ready to clean and jerk.
We're barely making it to T right now, let alone my.
I got T. That's what I got to call her.
T. That's it.
There are too many names that are similar.
I try to do some weightlifting things, but it's mostly poodles and food, so.
Yeah, baby.
All right, well, Glenn.
Well, let's go lift weights.
Yeah.
And you can find, you can go buy a Pendlay bar at muscledriver.com.